Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Hannah and on my channel I post a ton of anti-MLM content. I will link my big anti-MLM playlist here and down below. This has deep dives into different companies. This has Zoom calls that I've snuck into. I have a whole horror stories series where I'm reading personal experiences of people who have been in MLMs. And of course, videos like today, MLM Top Fails. I have videos, I have reels, I have photos that I'm going to show you. We're going to react to them together and then debunk the misinformation that they are presenting. And if any of this kind of content sounds interesting to you, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, consider liking this video. All of those kinds of things really help to support my channel, and I appreciate you so much for doing that. And the last little thing is that everything that I include in these MLM Top Fails videos has been sent to me via Google Drive. And if at any point you do come across something on social media that you would like for me to include in a video, I do give you very detailed step-by-step instructions in the description box. And with all that being said, let's get right into the things that I have to show you today. This first video is actually kind of a longer video. It's a 15-minute live that a Farmasi rep did. The MLM Farmasi sells cosmetics, skincare, bath and body care, nutrition, fragrance, home care. They started out as a makeup MLM and then they have since expanded into all kinds of different product markets, as a lot of MLMs do. And this particular rep happened to get a message on Instagram that kind of rubbed her the wrong way, and so she's making this 15-minute live talking about it.
So I get just the most incredible messages to you guys from you guys, and honestly I can't tell you just how much it means to me when I hear that I've been an inspiration to you in any way, shape, or form, that you've learned something from me. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I was just telling my team that this world, every time I get on social media, I can't scroll TikTok without seeing a hate comment. I can't get on Reels or TikTok without seeing some beautiful woman having to clap back at a hater. Like, our world is just full of so many just sick and evil and just mean people. So if I can come on and use social media as a platform to inspire or give life or any sort of value, period, that is part of my mission. So when I get those messages from you guys, it means so much to me. Now, I got a really fun message yesterday from somebody, and I don't take these to heart, so don't feel like, oh, Kate's probably crying, because I ain't at all right? I got a message from somebody yesterday, and they were like, she goes, I find it hysterical just how serious you take yourself with your job on social media. She's like, the fact that you're over here scamming people. You're scamming people into buying your crap makeup, and you take yourself seriously. She's like, girl, you're a joke, and I find it hysterical. I didn't respond to her because it's not worth my time.
So it's not worth your time to respond to this person who messaged you, but it is worth your time to go live on Instagram for 15 minutes just to talk about how unbothered you are. You know, just classic Hun stuff.
But I had to laugh. I had to laugh because of the ignorance. But also at the same time, I remember not too long ago when I used to think, I just sell makeup. Like, I just do tutorials, right? Like, it's just something small. Like, I used to downplay so hard what I do. Because if you want to think about my job, right? My job is to teach you guys makeup, and I share my favorite products with you, okay? And then I help other women do the exact same thing. So if you want to think about it, sure, it's very simple. But it's so much more than that. I used to downplay hardcore what I did. I used to downplay hardcore the entire profession. I used to be like, even though I was in it, I used to be a hater, right?
Nah, I always call BS on this argument whenever I see it. It seems to be the popular thing to do these days, to be like, I used to be a network marketing hater, but now I'm not. Now I'm like a changed woman. But let's be honest, if you are in an MLM, there is really no such thing as you used to be a hater of the industry, and now because you are in an MLM, you love it. And her saying that shows me just how little she understands about why people are actually critical of the industry. Because when people say, oh, I used to hate MLMs, but now I love them, all that does is show me that you really don't get how problematic this is. You don't get how deep the issues run. Because in my opinion, if you truly understood all of the issues with the multi-level marketing industry, there's no possible way to justify it and to be okay being involved with it. I always say it's a one-way street here. And the farther down the street you travel towards educating yourself on how MLMs are dangerous and problematic, there is no turning around and going back.
How many of us have been thrown in back in the ancient of days of Facebook, the billions of Facebook Messenger or the Facebook group parties, right? Like, you name it. Like, it drove me nuts. And I used to downplay it so hardcore. But it wasn't until God really opened my eyes that I saw it's so much more than that. And if you're sitting here and you're still in that mindset, you're probably like, oh, she is nuts. Or she's just saying that because she makes X, Y, and Z. Or she's just saying that because she did blah, blah, blah. No, look it, Nicole. There you go. It's so much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, she basically gave the example of like, I used to hate MLMs because of all those spammy Facebook groups. But then God opened her eyes and showed her that network marketing is wonderful. If your only issue with MLMs is the spammy Facebook groups and the cold messaging, we've got a problem here. And then to make matters worse, she just sprinkles in some faith manipulation. It's coming off like she's saying God showed her the truth and God showed her the way. And God wants her to be in pharmacy. I don't know. Something tells me that God doesn't want you to be in a pyramid scheme, scamming people to make your money.
Part of my mission, if I can make a woman feel beautiful and confident in herself, not even just with makeup, but just in general, if I can make her feel special, beautiful, and extraordinary, that's it for me. If I can teach a woman to sell makeup and build a business, to make an income for her family, that's it for me. If I can empower a woman to realize that she's made for more than just being a wife, a mom, a daughter, a grandma, a great grandma, because we got them on our team too. If I can teach and empower a woman that she's made for more, if I can teach and empower someone that God has given you so much value and talent wrapped up in your beautiful self, if I can empower someone to realize that what they have, the entire world needs, if I can empower someone that their testimony and their past and everything that they've gone through is a testimony that somebody else needs right now, and then if I can teach people that social media doesn't have to be this fake bullcrap place, it doesn't have to be this hated place, it doesn't have to be this toxic place. If I can empower a woman that, hey, you can make money, have purpose, have fun and enjoyment from home, that's it for me.
She's saying that she wants to show people that social media is not a toxic place, but I kind of feel like people in MLMs are the ones that are perpetuating this like toxic, fake social media culture though, right? I mean, that's the group of people whose entire job basically is to portray this desirable lifestyle that other people want so that they will join the business opportunity and they can actually make some money. In my opinion, people who are in MLMs tend to have the most curated, calculated, manipulative social media presence because the motivation behind every post, behind every message, behind every action is money. It's all about showing the wonderful, flashy sides of your life, and if you do choose to share something that's more vulnerable, those things are curated too. You're not showing the real challenges. You are cherry picking the challenges to share to make you appear more relatable and to tug at people's heartstrings. But aside from the social media thing, she said that another goal of hers is to like empower women and to show them that they can make money from home. And I feel like this is such a common lie that people in MLMs tell themselves to justify the fact that they are only recruiting people into this business model for their own financial gain. And this is such an ironic lie that they tell themselves because we know that MLMs systematically disempower women. Hey, pay a bunch of money, join this business opportunity where most women aren't even paid minimum wage, and in fact, a good portion of those actually lose money. What part of that is good for women? The big lie is that joining an MLM gives a woman the autonomy to create her own freedom, future, and wealth. But everyone seems to be forgetting that that's only possible and that's only a reality for less than 1% of women who get involved with this kind of thing. So where's the female empowerment in that? Only 1% of women get to be empowered at the expense of the other 99% of women that are being taken advantage of? It amazes me that people are like, oh yeah, I'm helping women by getting them involved with this business opportunity. It is delusional.
That's it for me. So this isn't some small makeup thing. This isn't just, and you can call me brainwashed. I don't care. This is a good kind of brainwashed. I'll take it. You can call me crazy. All right. She can tell me I'm some scheme because it's not. She literally needs to go Google like what a scheme is, because she don't know. It's okay. She don't know what she don't know. All right.
Wow. She don't know what she don't know. She's almost there. She is almost self-aware enough to realize that it's beneficial to go ahead and look up what a pyramid scheme is. But rather than taking her own advice, she just assumes that it's the other person that needs to go educate themselves. She's just assuming, oh, it can't possibly be me who's misinformed. It must be the girl in my DMs who's naive. She needs to go Google what a pyramid scheme is. And while we're here, let me remind you not to message people in MLMs like this. It is of my opinion that the person in the MLM is not going to be open to what you have to say, and you are not going to get anywhere with them. It's one of those things that they need to stumble on and educate themselves on when they are ready. Hence the reason that I make these videos. I feel very fortunate to be able to say that I have people all the time telling me that they have watched my videos and the information that I have presented made them think a little bit differently. It made them question things, and it ultimately got them to leave their MLMs. But that's because they consumed that information when they felt ready. This might be kind of silly to some people, but I have a spreadsheet going where I keep track of everyone who tells me that I helped them get out of their MLM or I prevented them from joining an MLM. And I take a lot of pride in that spreadsheet and in those people that I have been able to help. But I want to make it super clear that all of those people have said that they got out of their MLM because they went in search of that information. None of those people have told me that they decided to leave their MLM because some stranger slid into their DMs trying to give them information when it was not solicited.
But it's it for me. It's it for me. So this will never be some small thing. This is not just selling makeup. This isn't just social selling. It's so much more than that. And in the 2020 period, the 2020 era, right, we've seen our world radically change. We've seen from people having rock solid careers, right, that you could bank everything in. You go to college and you build this rock solid career, to literally being stripped from people's lives overnight. Nothing is guaranteed, especially in the financial world right now, especially in the career world. So if I can empower somebody to build a business with a startup cost of $20 selling consumable European standard clean products, not just makeup, not just skincare, y'all, we got health and wellness too. If I can teach them to build that business, that's it for me. That's it for me, because that's taking freedom back. That's taking peace of mind back.
She's openly admitting to preying on people who have lost their jobs or been financially impacted by the pandemic, so we love that. I mean, that's gotta be against compliance, right? I don't know if Farmasi specifically has released an updated compliance statement regarding using the pandemic to sell or recruit, but other companies have openly come out and said, hey, this is not cool, we should not be doing this. It's kind of well understood that, like, we don't go there. These schemes don't make most people money, and so it's not ethical of us to recruit people in their most vulnerable financial state. It's really not a good look on her part.
That's taking the struggle away. That's helping you build from where you're at right now, living that just enough life. I tell my team this all the time. We're building family legacies of going with just enough, because that's how I grew up. You had just enough. Right? My family for generations, we were a just enough family. And there's nothing wrong with that. I will always be a simple person. Okay, I will always be simple-minded, but I don't want just enough, right? I don't want just enough to get us next to the next paycheck. I don't want just enough to pay off the credit card that we put Christmas on. I don't want just enough to make the car payment. I don't want just enough to change the car oil. I don't want just enough to get in our grocery budget. I don't want just enough life anymore. And I'm going to take every woman that I possibly can and help them go from having that just enough life to an abundant life. And if you're a woman of faith, then you should know that God wants you to live an abundant life. He didn't call you to live a life of struggle. He didn't call you or make you for a life of struggle. He didn't call you or make you to have to live paycheck to paycheck. And it ain't selfish to go and build a business. It is 2022, my friends, and women, we are taking over the world. And if I can empower a woman by teaching her how to build a business literally from your cell phone, as cliche and as cringy as that may be for some of you, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm gonna do.
So let's run with this just enough idea for a second, because she can talk all day until she's blue in the face about how joining Farmasi will give a woman a life of abundance, but the income disclosure statement tells us a very different story. 75% of people in this company fall at the bottom 3 ranks, and all of these ranks make less than $1,000 a year on average. Most people in this company are making chump change, especially when you subtract their expenses. So most people aren't living this life of financial abundance like she's claiming. It appears that not until you get to the rank of golden do you see that people are making a decent full-time income in this business, an average of $45,000 a year, and less than 1% of people in the company ever make it to this rank or higher. Less than 1% of people in pharmacy make a full-time income. And yes, I understand that people don't always join an MLM because they're expecting to go full-time with it. So at that point, I have to ask myself, is the time, the energy, the effort worth it? I would argue that $200 a year, $300 a year, $700 a year isn't making anyone feel like they are avoiding this just enough lifestyle. That kind of money probably is not offering people that financial cushion that they're hoping to get out of joining a business opportunity or a side hustle or a second stream of income. I do agree with her that it's not comfortable always to have to go paycheck to paycheck or just enough to scrape by. But what I'm saying is that based on the income disclosure statement, pharmacy isn't really the solution. I think having multiple streams of income is incredible. Not every person needs that or wants that, but if you do want that, pharmacy's not the way. MLMs in general are not the way to do that.
And I love the company I am in, period. I love this place. I've been with 3 previous companies before this, so let me tell you, your girl's been around the block. I almost quit on this profession in general because I couldn't find something that aligned with me.
No way. This is her 4th MLM, everybody. That's alarming how she was like, oh, I couldn't find success in 3 other companies, but I just kept trying until something stuck. This is one of those things that makes absolutely no sense out of the context of an MLM. I always use teaching as an example because that's my background, but you would never hear a teacher being like, oh yeah, I worked at 3 different schools and none of them paid me. I almost left the profession, but the 4th school I worked at, they actually gave me a paycheck and I got compensated for my work. It's just so absurd. Additionally, I want to take this opportunity to say that if you haven't found success in an MLM, it's not your fault. And she was this close to realizing that it's an issue with the business model, but instead she happened to stumble across this 4th company that for one reason or another worked out for her. And that reason most likely has to do with recruiting. She was able to find a lot of people who wanted to sign up for pharmacy. I just want to make the point that if you are someone who has gone from MLM to MLM to MLM and you're still not finding any success with it, it's not because of you, it's not for a lack of trying, it's not for a lack of hard work, effort, dedication, all of those things. It is simply because only a fraction of people who join the company can be at the top. And making it to the top is this perfect combination of a recruitment-based numbers game and luck.
And I didn't want to sell expensive products anymore because I myself couldn't buy the expensive products. I'll never forget July of 2019, 1 month before, I'm not trying to cry over this because this always gets me really emotional. July of 2019, 1 month before I joined Farmasi. Oh, how life has changed. I love makeup. I love expensive makeup, and I would penny pinch and I would you name it. I would wear makeup for X amount of days so I could spread how far along my bottle of foundation would last. I went to Ulta and I bought my makeup, my foundation, and my concealer, and it was $74. Okay. That ended up causing our account to go negative. I had to walk myself back in. I had to walk back into Ulta and I'm gonna take it back. I didn't walk into Ulta. I sat in the car. I just had heart surgery. My mom walked back into Ulta and returned my makeup for me because I couldn't afford it to get my account back to 0 because we weren't gonna get paid for 2 more days. I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget thinking like, man, even if makeup were why is it so expensive to buy such good quality makeup? Why is it freaking $60 for this bottle of foundation? I have sensitive skin. I can't wear drugstore stuff. So that was one thing. And I just couldn't handle anymore that burden. All of it was on my husband's shoulders. Here we had $60,000 in medical debt. It's a literal stress city. 1 month later, God threw, I kid you not, it didn't land in my lap. It hit me in the face, Farmasi. And when I heard it was $19.99 to join, I was like, oh, we sound like Wet and Wild. What are we selling right now? Is this Dollar General? What are we doing? And then I remember when I saw my sponsor sharing the products, and she's sharing how much it costs. And we're putting the CC cream on, and she was saying it costs $14. I was like, that's nasty. There's no way my makeup self was nope. I was so wrong. And so that's one reason I'm so passionate about this company, because it's the unicorn. It's the unicorn. I can go and sell my most expensive makeup foundation for $29 and I have zero guilt in it. And I can teach any woman to help build a career at home, selling makeup, selling skincare, selling healthcare from home, period. It has drastically changed my life. It's taken me from that woman of July of 2019 to a who was at home, I still don't leave my house unless I'm going on a trip, who was at home, who was lonely, who was depressed, who had anxiety, whose every financial burden was on my husband's shoulders, to now being a woman who has more friendships than I can count, more confidence than I've ever had in my life, more purpose than I've ever had, and a career beyond my wildest dreams.
This kind of behavior is really strange to me. Zeke thinks so too. I don't know what's up with this cat. The past 2 days, he's been like snuggly, and that is not like him. Like, he will voluntarily sit on my lap. That's not a thing that Zeke does. He's literally about to lay on my lap right now. I don't know what is going on. This is very confusing. It's the claiming that the MLM has given you everything and you are citing that as the thing that turned your entire life around. That's very alarming to see. And I personally don't feel like anyone should be giving anything that much credit for their quality of life. Do you see this cat? What is going on with you? I mean, she's literally saying, I was broke, I was depressed, I was so lonely before Farmasi, and now I'm living the life of my dreams. And I don't doubt that maybe that is her experience because she appears like she's at the top ranks of this company, but those are the exact kinds of claims that are so predatory. I'm just thinking of the woman who's watching this and who can relate to that kind of story, who's perhaps feeling lonely or depressed, who can relate to the experience of not being able to afford the things they want. And by this woman making income and lifestyle claims like that, that's predatory towards women who might be in that kind of vulnerable position and who now think that joining Farmasi is like their ticket to success, which is super unfortunate because, as we saw with one glance at the compensation plan, most people in this company barely make anything at all. I do not know how to describe to you how odd this behavior is and how happy I am that I'm holding Zeke in my arms. And just like that, he left me. Are you out of your teenager phase? Do you like your mom now? You're not too cool for cuddling anymore?
When I set out to start Farmasi, I needed to make $500 a month, period. I had to make $500 a month to help pay for bills, to help pay for the truck payment, you name it, I had to do it. And to see where we're at now, you could never have told me, if you would have told me in August of 2019 when I joined that you'd be making multiple 5 figures a month, I'd be like, you're smoking crack cocaine. Or something. Like, you have a concussion, you should go to the doctor, it's not possible, but it is. And this company is unlike anything you've seen out there.
Well, that's a fat income claim if I've ever heard one. Like, she just said that she regularly makes 5 figures a month. And again, that's unethical for her to be saying that, even if it is true for her, because that's not true for most people in the company. And she cannot be implying that if you join Farmasi, you will see results like this too. It's just so unethical and misleading and messed up.
It's true, because it took a woman like me who has struggled and failed in every single company to living a beautiful life. And it's not just me, it's my entire team, it's our entire company.
What? No, it's not. Yeah, Zeke, tell him. Your entire team and your entire company is not making the same kind of money that you're making, and to say that is a bold-faced lie. And even if we didn't look at the income disclosure, we still know that it's a lie because it's fundamentally impossible for it to be true. MLM companies could not exist. They would cease to function if every single person who joined that company made it to the top rank. That defeats the entire purpose of having a multi-level marketing company. The only reason that she can make good money is because she has multiple levels of people that she has put below her that cannot and will not ever make it to her position. Without them sitting at the bottom, she cannot sit at the top. That's just the way the business model is designed.
And I'm so freaking stoked. I look back over the numbers of 2021 and knowing that over $3 million in commissions was paid to my team, it gets me emotional every time. It gets me emotional every time because they're women just like me.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, so your team was paid $3 million in commissions last year. What percentage of that went to the people at the top of your team? The majority, I'm assuming. That $3 million did not get divided up evenly between all the members on your team. No, the couple people at the top get the majority of that money, and then the remainder of that money is divvied up between all of the people at the bottom.
They're women, they're moms, they're wives, there's grandmas, there's great-grandmas, there's daughters, there's sisters, there's teachers, there's nurses, there's stay-at-home moms, there's business boutique owners, there's salon owners, like you name it, we've got it. And I freaking love that so much. So this isn't something small for me. And no matter who slides into my DMs and tries to say it is, it's not something small. So you're not going to see me quiet. In fact, like I said in my stories, it's only going to get louder because my passion for this is so much more. Because like I said, it's not just selling makeup. It's not just selling skincare. It's not just starting this little side business. No, it's so much more than that. There's so much more. Our team's motto, I'm literally getting in neon lights from my wall, and it is focus on making an impact and the income will follow. If you ask anyone on my team, they will tell you that I don't just talk about your goals for sales. I don't just talk about your goals for money. I want the goals for your personal health. I want the goals for your mental health, your emotional health. I want what your family, it's the whole package. It's the impact that's going to happen on your life.
Okay, but that's weird. People are joining this company as a business opportunity, aka they are joining to make money. So why is there also such a heavy emphasis on their health, their goals, their mindset, their relationships too? Why can't your job just be your job? Why does it have to infiltrate every aspect of your life? I do understand that some professions do naturally have some overlap between your personal life and your professional life, but let's not forget that this is essentially a sales job. Let's think of it this way, okay? I used to work at Ulta years ago, and every now and then different salespeople from the different cosmetics brands would come into our store for a day, and their focus as the salesperson, as the representative of that brand, would be to sell the products. They would do color matches, they would educate about the products, they would talk to customers, they would run promotions, whatever. So like one day we would have a rep from Urban Decay, the next day we would have a rep from Tarte. And those are traditional cosmetic salespeople whose job is to travel around to the different locations where their brand is sold, and their job is to sell. I think it would be very unusual for an Urban Decay cosmetic salesperson to dedicate every aspect of their life to becoming a better Urban Decay salesperson. Like, do you think that that person clocks out for the day, and in their free time, all they do is hang out with other Urban Decay salespeople, sit on Zoom calls about how to change your mindset, posting on social media about how wonderful Urban Decay is, messaging strangers, asking if they want to buy Urban Decay? Probably not, because that's very strange behavior, and you would not see it from somebody not in an MLM. So if your job is to be a representative for Farmasi and to sell their cosmetics, why does that have to become your entire identity? Why does Farmasi have to bleed into every aspect of your life? Because ultimately, it is a cult-like organization where most people cannot be successful, so they need to employ all these brainwashy self-help tactics to keep you in longer. They have to sink their claws into every aspect of your life so that you feel like you cannot leave.
That's what I care about. You had 4 people. That's incredible. What an impact that is. That's freaking awesome. I'm so proud of you. You guys are extraordinary. I'm so excited for this new season. I told my mom, my husband, I told everybody, I said, 2022 is going to be different. Like, the world's not different. The world is exactly the same. Literally, probably even worse. But I'm different. I'm going into this an entire new year. That's freaking phenomenal. That's so awesome. I'm so excited for you. So whether you're watching this and you're already with Farmasi, or you're watching this and you're with another company that you love, or you're watching this and you're with a company and you feel stuck, or you're watching this and you've never done this, no matter what, I hope this gives you inspiration. But if you're watching this and you're like, I need to join her, let's go. Let's go, because it is my mission to not only change my life and my family's life, but it's my #1 mission to impact and change other women's lives. And that's what we're doing here. You're never going to be left hung to dry. I don't care if you've got all the success. I don't care if you've got massive team success, whatever it is, or you're somebody who's never done this before. You're never going to be left hung dry here in Farmasi as a whole, but let alone my team. Never. We've got so much training, so much support, probably a little much, but I will always take it because I am extra. So anyway, you guys, I love you so much. And if you're watching this on January 7th of 2022, I need to remember what year it is now. It is only 3 more days to join for $9.99. And after that, it goes back up to a whole whopping $19.99. So let me help you change your life. Let me help you. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later, Instagram.
What's kind of funny is that she said, my #1 mission is to impact and change other women's lives, which we know is not true. People don't join an MLM to make an impact. People join to make money, so I can't help but just roll my eyes at the lie that she's only in this to help others. Like, come on, your main mission might be to get more people into the company. That is true, but that's not because you care about them. It's because you get cut a literal bonus check every time you sign somebody up. It's crazy. The next thing I'm going to show you is a Monat rep who posted a bunch of her paycheck amounts on her Instagram story. It seems like she has gone into her email and filtered the results to show her only the emails coming from Paylution, which is Monat's like payment system. And I have several things to point out about this. Number one, it's against compliance. You're not allowed to do this. According to Monat's policies and procedures, you may not make income projections, income claims, or disclose his or her Monat income, including the showing of their Monat payment card records, back office records, bank statements, or tax records. You're not allowed to make any claims about what Monat is paying you because the FTC has determined that this is misleading. Joining the business opportunity does not mean that you are guaranteed to get any money from Monat, so their reps cannot be advertising it this way. The second issue that I have with this email is that the way that she's scrolling through is very misleading. The obvious point that she's trying to make here is she's like scroll, 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 scroll endlessly, showing you all of the payments that she's ever gotten, with the objective to show you, hey, this really does pay me. I really do make money. However, she is scrolling through these emails pretty fast, and if I pause it, it becomes clear that there are 3 separate emails for every one payment that she receives. For example, if she gets paid $44.25, there are 3 different emails regarding that one transaction. There's one email showing us that she received the payment, a second email regarding her request to transfer that amount to her bank, and then a third email confirming that the money was in fact transferred from Monat to her bank account. As you can see, all these emails are coming in on the exact same day. They are all regarding the same paycheck. Additionally, it took me a few times of watching to catch this, but right here, I'll slow it down, see if you can catch it. She splices the video in such a way to make it seem like she's continuing to scroll downwards, but instead the video just jump cuts back up to the top of her email, so she's showing us the same payments twice in this video. She's trying to make it seem like, hey, I can scroll for days, look at all these payments, but she cuts the video together in such a way that we're actually looking at the same emails twice. The third issue I have with this clip is the amount of these paychecks. She's only showing us the paychecks from December 3rd to January 28th, and I slowed down the video, I totaled up all these payments, and over the course of those 9 weeks, she made $725.25. Her largest paycheck was $117, and her smallest paycheck was $15. If we average that amount over the course of 9 weeks, she's making roughly an average of $80 a week. Of course, I realize this is a limited set of data. I have no idea what she's making before or after this point, but I'm just going off the numbers that I have been given, okay? So $80 a week on average. Now, you might be hearing this number, $80 a week, and thinking, you know, that's not terrible. That's gas money, that's my cell phone bill, that's getting my nails done, that's a date night out. But I want to give you some more context and put this into even more perspective for you. She has been in Monat for 17 months at the time of posting these paychecks. These are the paychecks of someone who has been trying to make the business work for almost a year and a half. These are the paychecks of someone who has dedicated their entire social media presence to being essentially a Monat fan page where nearly everything she posts is somehow connected to the products or the business opportunity. And it has been alleged to me that she is at the rank of managing market builder, which is rank 5 out of 11. Even though this rank is halfway up the compensation plan, she is still at a rank that considers her to be in the top 2% of the company. How insane is it that someone can be at the top 2% of a company and making $80 a week on average? And I show this to you for 2 reasons. It's not to put her on blast. I'm showing it to you because number 1, it's deceptive. She's scrolling over the same 9 paychecks in an attempt to show you how much Monat pays her. And it's one of those things where the average person clicking through an Instagram story would not notice. The average person isn't going to pause the frame or slow the video down or total up all the amounts or recognize that she's scrolling over the same things twice or notice that every transaction has 3 emails attached to it. The average person is just going to watch this and be like, oh dang, she really does get paid for Monat. The second reason I show this to you is, in my opinion, the pay is not great in relation to the time and the effort that is likely required of her to make that kind of money. $80 a week is not terrible by any means, but I would be interested to know how many hours a week she spends trying to make her business work, and then how that breaks down into an hourly rate. If she spends more than 11 hours a week doing Monat related related tasks like sitting on Zoom calls, like posting on social media, like messaging people, she would be better off working a part-time minimum wage job instead for 11 hours a week. This is a very great example of the deceptive practices that people in MLMs are encouraged to use. And speaking of deceptive practices, this one's up next, which is kind of perfect. I'm going to show you kind of like a series of things. There's a reel and a photo that kind of go along together. And personally, I love things like this because it's catching someone in a deceptive practice, in a lie. And I love that somebody noticed this and then sent it to me. The first thing is this reel. These two people are Monat reps, but we are specifically focusing on the person on the left. It says, when they say the trips aren't real, and then they dance, which like whatever, it seems harmless. This was posted on August 24th of 2021, and the caption says, yachting on a Tuesday thanks to shampoo. It's real. It's so real. Trust me, your only limitations are the ones you set up in your own mind. A huge thank you to blank for this trip of a lifetime. Thank you for being an example of what you can achieve when you believe you can. So all of this in itself is whatever. I roll my eyes at it, but I don't really have much commentary. But then here is a post from the same Monat rep on September 18th, 2021. And the caption here reads, I know this has nothing to do with football, but how could I not bring this up? Look at my hair. I almost thought to myself, who's sitting next to my daughter? I literally cannot believe that's my hair. And that it's my hair without a single hair extension in it. If you're not using these dang products yet, I need to know why. No, seriously, I need to know. Because I'm genuinely confused and want to help you feel this dang good about your hair. If you were waiting for some kind of sign, this is it. Now, hey, her hair looks great, okay? But it's strange to me that she feels like she needs to make the point that she's not wearing any hair extensions in this photo. And then it's like, wait a second. What about this reel that you posted 26 days prior? Because here's what your hair looked like then. What I'm saying here is that, in my opinion, I believe she's being shady and untruthful about not having hair extensions in that football picture. That entire post was like, look at how great my hair looks thanks to Monat. But sis, we all have eyes, okay? Who do you think you're fooling? Something isn't adding up here. I don't buy it. And please know that I never make comments about people's appearances. And I would not be showing this to you if she didn't throw in that little line about how she's not wearing hair extensions. All I'm saying is that it's raising an eyebrow. I know that she owns hair extensions. I know that she's talked about wearing hair extensions in the past. And in my opinion, she appears to be wearing them at this football game. Because there's only 26 days between these two photos, and 26 days is not going to give you that kind of length and that kind of volume. And it's pretty shady that someone who's supposed to be having a hair glow up thanks to Monat is posting pictures of herself wearing hair extensions and then claiming that she's not. I have absolutely nothing against extensions, but it's kind of like, if Monat is so great, why would you need that, you know? Again, just another example of a deceptive business practice to try and sell the products. This next thing is a video from an It Works rep.
Just making some lunch for us, and I was down here in our kitchen, and I found a box full of all these products, and I decided to do something a little fun. So for the next 2 people who order with me, I'm gonna let you pick anything you want out of this box. Let me show you what's in this box. There is a ton. We've got our hydrates, our super green, our carb control. We've got some celery. There's more hydrate. I'm obsessed with that. We even got, oh, that's our cleanser, my favorite. We've got a bag of our collagen. Got our hair, skin, and nails down here. A bunch of that. Ooh, some of our Confianza. There's a lot. So, for the next 2 people who order with me and message me this word, you're going to pick anything you want from this box.
What kills me about this is that she's like, oh, look at this massive box of unopened product that I just found laying around my house that I completely forgot I had. Like, what does that say about how much excessive product It Works reps are buying? For what? To hit ranks or quotas, I would imagine. And another thing that's concerning is if she truly forgot that she had all of that product in her house, how long has that been sitting there? How old are those products? I would imagine that they have a shelf life and that they do expire at one point. So I hope that she kind of goes through and checks all the expiration dates before she gives them away to people. As she was listing off these products, I had a tab open on my computer on the It Works website, and I was just adding everything to my cart that she mentioned. She held up and verbally acknowledged 10 different products, and the cost of those 10 products is $426, and that is after the discount. That's their loyal customer price, and if you're not a loyal customer or if you're not a representative of the company, that would have been $711 $10 of product. And remember, that is just for the 10 products she like held up and named. That's basically only what she could pick off the top layer of the box. There are hundreds and hundreds of dollars of extra product underneath the products that she mentioned. I took a glance at their compensation plan, and It Works reps have a 400 PV requirement every month. And of course, you can hit this requirement by purchasing or selling. So what I'm assuming that a person would have to do to have this much excess product is to place their own orders to hit certain requirements to remain active or to get your commissions or to rank up. And I'm assuming that something like that is probably how she ended up having this crazy backstock of things that she completely forgot she even owned. Tell me again how the reps are not the primary customer. This is a reel, and the audio is the one that goes like, is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. And she says, when people won't even give you the time of day to talk about anything network marketing related, but then you remember that it's unfortunately their loss and you thankfully did give it the time of day. This one is fascinating to me because it's almost like she's forgetting that she needs people to give her business opportunity the time of day if she's going to make any money from it. I feel like I've been seeing this attitude more and more lately from MLM reps being like, I'm gonna do this with or without you, and it's your loss and I'm moving on. And it perplexes me because it's not a one-woman show here. You cannot be successful all on your own. You cannot make any money if you don't have people to sell a product to or to recruit. And you honestly want to know what this feels like to me? It's like when a little kid throws a tantrum and they're like, I'm running away from home. And the parent's like, okay, do it. Go for it. See how far you get. That's what's happening right here. She's like, I don't even need you anyway. And the rest of us are like, cool, sounds good. Let's see how far this takes you then. This reel is from a Zaya rep, and it says, you may be curious, can I do this as a busy mom? Can I do this alongside my career? Can I do this without a big social media presence? Can I do this without a bunch of inventory? And then she goes, yes. And this particular reel is standing out to me this week because I just recently did a deep dive into Zaya, and doing that, I realized that they do not release an income disclosure statement. At least at this point. Hopefully they will in the future, but as of right now, we have no idea what people in Zaya are actually making. The objective of this reel is for her to paint the opportunity like anyone can do Zaya, no matter your circumstances. And my response to that is like, yeah, anyone can do Zaya. Anyone is welcome. There's no application, there are no qualifications, but is it monetarily worth it for someone to join? That's what I want to know. Is it worth it for a busy mom to try and make money from this? Is it worth it for someone with another full-time job? Are these people going to be making a substantial enough income from Zaya to justify adding that into the mix of their busy lives? And the answer is, we don't know, because Zaya is shady and they don't give us any numbers. Zaya is 5 years old as a company at this point, and no doubt they're using the excuse of like, well, we're just a baby company and we don't have accurate data yet. But come on, okay? If you come across an MLM that does not release an income disclosure statement, that should be the first and most important red flag. Because although it's not required for a company to release their income disclosure, many companies still do, because it allows people to look at the incomes of the people at the top ranks of these companies, and it allows the company to be like, look it, we make millionaires. Look at these people making a full-time income in our company. And it's a way for the company to show people what is possible with their business opportunity, not necessarily what is probable, but the top ranks of MLM companies show off crazy incomes as a result of how the business model functions, and typically an MLM company kind of wants to show that off. So the fact that Zaya does not release their numbers tells me that the numbers probably aren't very good, and that either a super high percentage of people are losing money or making an incredibly insignificant amount of money, or that the people in the top ranks of their company aren't making a ton of money at this point either. This is not a very well-known or popular MLM, and compared to other MLMs, they are pretty small. There are not that many Zaya reps, but just knowing how an MLM functions, the more people you have in the company, the more money the people at the top of that company will make. So what I'm guessing is right now they don't feel like their company is as big as they want. Maybe they're waiting to have a certain number of representatives, and they're waiting for that tiny percentage of people at the top to actually be making significant money, and that perhaps at this point the numbers across the board, across the whole compensation plan, are pretty terrible, and so they're just not showing us. Because if they did, no one would join, and that would be counterproductive for them. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm looking at this reel in a little bit of a different way because I just made that deep dive, and I'm kind of thinking in that frame of mind. And additionally, while we're on the topic of Zaya, here is a different post from that same rep, and there's one specific part of the caption that I want to focus on. She's talking about expectations of work are changing, supplemental income, flexible hours, personal connection, yada, yada, yada. But it's this little piece kind of midway through that says, I mean, think about this. Literally every day I get asked about my clothes. Just like we ask each other about our favorite shoes, our must-read books, the restaurants with the best atmosphere or menu. How that translates for me is now I get to turn that ask into real money. I simply pull up the link to my shop, text it to my girlfriend, and she buys my top. Then I make a commission from her purchase. This way of selling and shopping has real staying power alongside flexibility in hours and work schedule. It might be worth you exploring more. The person that sent me this screenshot was a Zaya rep for 2 years. And when she shared this photo with me on Google Drive, she put a little backstory in the description. And she said, I was in Zaya for almost 2 years. I wore the clothes everywhere. Nobody asked me about my leggings, and I'm pretty sure I am in the majority on that. Why do they insist on lying? I love it when former reps of these companies send me examples like this, and they can be able to say basically, here's how this is false. Here's how this person is lying. Here's how this person is being deceptive. And it just reinforces the idea that everything posted by people in MLMs is calculated and it's manipulative and it's a facade. It's not true. Do people really ask her every single day where she got her activewear from, or is that just something that she's saying to make a more compelling caption and to make it look like selling Zaya really is just that easy? With the way that she's phrasing it, she's trying to make it seem like, look how easy breezy it is to make sales. I just wear my clothes, everybody wants them, I send them the link, and I make a ton of money. And I hate to break it to you, but it does not work like that, and we all know it. And as far as this common argument about asking for book recommendations, restaurant recommendations, things like that, when people ask for recommendations, that's just people crowdsourcing information. That's because a person genuinely wants to know, and people are giving them genuine recommendations. Nothing about selling an MLM product is genuine. Her Instagram handle literally has the word Zaya in it. Everyone knows what she sells here. Everyone knows what her agenda is. And her recommending Zaya is the furthest thing from genuine. She's only recommending these products because she makes a 20 to 25% commission, and I can nearly guarantee you that if she was not in Zaya, she would not have an entire Instagram dedicated to promoting it, and she would not be recommending it because there's nothing in it for her at that point. And that's just kind of how it goes with MLM products. Nobody outside the company recommends these products because nobody outside the company thinks that they are worth recommending. On a grand scale, the only people saying that MLM products are fantastic just so happen to be the people that are trying to make money off of those products. Funny how that works. And with that, my friends, that is all that I have for you for this MLM Top Fails video. Keep the content coming. I love it when my Google Drive is just stacked with stuff to look at. These videos are some of my favorite to create, and I could not create them if I didn't have your help. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next one real soon.